to Navigation Trading Live. You are now part of a growing group of do-it-yourself traders who are trying to change the way investors think about building wealth. But because we don't believe in using financial advisors, stock tips, or traditional financial media, we have to do things different. We have to do things smarter. We do that through an art and a science we call trade hacking. At Navigation Trading, our methodology is based on statistics and probabilities, not hype or emotion. Our core strategies have been used by market makers, hedge funds, and floor traders for many years. Now, we share these secrets with you. Whether your goal is to make an extra $1,000 per month or replace your current income, with our guidance, you can achieve financial success beyond your wildest dreams. So, let's get started. What's up, Navigation Traders? It is Monday, January 29th. Hope everybody had a great weekend. If you haven't already, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. This is where we make a lot of our announcements on upcoming events and releases of new content and courses and all that good stuff. So make sure you connect with us there. And remember, this Navigation Trading Live session that we do every Monday morning right before the markets open, this is all about you. So if you have any specific topics or suggestions on things that you want us to cover and dive a little bit deeper on, feel free to post those here either on YouTube or Facebook. We stream live from both simultaneously, or you can always shoot us an email at info@navigationtrading.com. So one quick thing before we've got a few minutes before the market opens. So before we jump onto the platform, I want to take a second to make an announcement on something that we did just release, and it's not a full-blown course like some of our other strategy courses. So I'm calling it a mini course, but it's all about option assignment. Now, if you're already a pro member, this course has already been loaded to your membership area. So there's nothing else that you need to do. There's no additional cost or anything like that. I mean, this is, as I mentioned, when we kind of convert it over to our pro membership model, any new content that we come out with is automatically going to be uploaded to your members area. So that's available now. And a couple things that this course is going to cover, because we get a lot of questions about option assignment. I know for a lot of newer traders, it is a fairly confusing topic. So some of the things that we're going to answer in this course: A, when am I at risk of being assigned stock? And where does that risk of assignment lie with long options? So if you're buying or selling puts and calls, long vertical spreads. So if you're buying a put vertical, buying a call vertical, short options. So if you're short a naked call or naked put, or short a strangle or a straddle, how are those options affected by assignment? And then of course, short vertical spreads. So we're going to go through each of those. We're going to talk about how to avoid or reduce risk of assignment. We're going to talk about what to do on a stock's ex-dividend date. You know, a lot of times, one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, I got an email from my broker saying that my stock is getting ready to go ex-dividend. What do I do? You know, is my position at risk of assignment? What do I do to avoid that, or what do I do to make sure that I don't get myself in trouble? And then also where to find this dividend information. What was the estimated dividend going to be? Where, what is the dividend date? So all these things. And then lastly, I got assigned stock. Now what should I do? So we're going to go through all of those. I think we've hit on nearly every question that I typically get around option assignment. But if there's any other topic or any other situation that we did not clarify in this course, we would love to hear your feedback, because we can update this, and we always want to make sure that we're providing as much value as possible so that things are crystal clear. I mean, options, when you first start out, it can be a confusing topic, and we want to simplify those issues. So any suggestions, obviously let us know. Pro members, let me take you to the platform, and I'll show you. So if you're in your if you're in your membership area and you are a part of the pro membership, just go all the way down to the bottom. You'll see option assignment mini course. Click that box and you got the drop down here. So we have all the different topics. It's about 6 videos, so well worth the watch. And then, of course, if you are not a pro member, when you're at NavigationTrading.com, simply click on Pro Membership Trial, and you can check us out for 14 days for just 14 bucks. So if you have any interest, go ahead and do that. But again, as we release new courses and everything, it's automatically going to be loaded into your members area as a pro member. So enjoy that. And again, we'd love to hear some feedback. So we just heard the opening bell about a minute ago. So let's go to the platform and take a look at what's going on. So let's start with the futures. You've got ES, NQ, the Dow, Russell, all down about 1/3%. You can see a huge run. This is just a tiny, tiny dip in the markets, but who knows? Could be the start of a more downside continuation. Let's hope we get a little bit of two-sided action anyway, as opposed to just this one-sided rally. If you take a look at oil, oil's down about 1%. Gold is down a little bit. Silver down about 1%. Bonds continue to stay weak. If we take a look at the bonds, you can see they continue to stay weak. Nat gas having a little move to the downside. We've got a position in nat gas, so that'll help us out pretty nicely. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all up a bit. The euro taking a little bit of a breather after it's been on a nice run to the upside. Take a look at some of these other ETFs. Those are pretty much mimicking the futures. Let's see if there's any other big movers here in the emerging markets. EEM down about 1.25%. EWZ down about 1.25%. All these taking a little bit of a breather from their historic runs to the upside. EWW, the Mexican ETF. Retail pretty flat on the day so far. FXI down 2%. That'll help one of our positions as well. Let's take a look at some of these stocks, see what's going on. So we've got Apple down about another 1.75%. Adobe down about 0.5%. Amazon up slightly, continues to be rise to the upside here. Baidu taking a little bit of a breather. Let's see, some of these others. CMG down a little bit. Google pretty flat. Goldman Sachs up. Excuse me. Let's see. Momo up 3%. See if there's any other big moves here. Micron down about 1%. And that's pretty much it. Everything else fairly quiet. So what I wanted to take a look at for our trade of the week was a potential trade in Tesla. So Tesla announces earnings. I know this I think it goes off the screen, but the box says here, earnings is on 2/7 after the market. So on February 7th, after the market, Tesla announces. So what I'm looking at here is that, Tesla had a nice run up. Now it's having a little bit of a pullback back to the averages. And so this is when I like to enter a little bit more directional plays. And as you know, with these pre-earnings trades, the implied volatility tends to stay bid, so it stays higher, and so that's a time that you can actually buy a call without having a huge issue with theta decay. And so that's what I'm looking at here, is potentially buying a long call pre-earnings, looking for a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a pop-up in price, and some continued expansion in implied volatility. So if we go to the trade tab, remember they announce on the 7th, so we want to look at the weekly options that encompass that date. So this would be the February 9th options. And what I'm looking at here is you can really do kind of anywhere from that 30 to 40 delta is the range that I like to enter those on. So with this option, I'd probably go around the 30, 29, 32. Looks like you're going to buy one contract for about somewhere between 645, 650, 665, somewhere in there. And if we analyze that trade, what you'll see is typically we would never buy an out of the money call because of this theta decay. You can see it's got a negative $48 of theta. However, leading up to earnings, you're typically not going to see a lot of that theta decay. In fact, your Vega is going to increase, the IV is going to increase, which is actually going to help this position. And if we get the pop-up move higher, and really we're looking just for 5, 10, 15 points to get a quick pop out of this trade. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to try to get filled in that. And if I get filled, I'll shoot that out to pro members via text message and email. So look for that. And if you're not a pro member, like I said, you can go check it out with the pro trial. Everybody have a great week of trading, and we will talk to you next week.